celebrating it, we should be worried. And the economists are worried. But because the government is so desperate to find something to congratulate themselves on, they are patting themselves on the back. They are looking at things through their own spectacles and they are quite happy. But conditions in Ghana are not good. And everybody is crying out for the NPP to come back again. If the elections were held today, we would win by a landslide. And that is a fact. Even those who voted for the NDC are hiding. They don't want to be associated with the NDC. And yes, when Nana was doing his campaign rounds, he said, we're going to ask the NDC chairman in the constituency to say, me, I never voted for the NDC. And it's true. Because they've seen that even though they support the party, it hasn't brought anything good to Ghanaians. The NPP in opposition is alive and well and thriving. When I ask those who sell party paraphernalia, if you display NDC things, nobody will buy it. If you bring MPP stuff, sold out. We are proudly flying our flags on our cars and our emblems in our cars. And there's a woman in Medina who roasts plantain. Since we lost power, she dresses nicely in her MPP t-shirt, wears her MPP scarf, and goes to sit behind her plantain to roast. And she's doing a roaring trade because we all pass by and we say, yeah, one of us, we'll buy your plantain. Even if we don't want to buy plantain, we'll give you money. Because you are wearing our colors. Yes, we proudly support our party. We're not ashamed to be members of the NPP. And we stick our necks out and say, NPP, no shaking. I've never seen anything like that before. And the NDC, they are hiding. They say we are in opposition, but we are in power. We have the power. They claim they are in power, but we are in opposition and we have the power. Why? Because we have a good story to tell. We were not good at communicating our successes in government. We assumed that the good deeds that we did would speak for us. And so we allowed them to seize the propaganda and spin doctoring high ground. And they did it effectively. But we can learn a lesson from their book. So we say that we will not shut up. If you do something which is wrong, we will point it out to you and tell you that we did much better. Today there are gas shortages all over the country. And that has been the case since they came to power. Gas shortages, fuel shortages, premix fuel shortages, everything. When we were in power, they used to chase us with gas. You'd be sitting in your house and the truck would go around announcing that your gas about, if you want gas, bring your cylinder and fill it. Now there are queues, long queues to get gas to buy. Why? It's a sign of bad governance. They are totally clueless. Does any of you here remember what the NPP motto is? Development in freedom. Development in freedom. We want the opportunity to come back again so that we can develop our country and everybody will be free to taste of the fruits of that development. Now we've gone back to the days when you're talking, you look over your shoulder because you don't know who is listening. They've set people and spies on everybody. They are bagging our phones and tailing us. Now some of us, we say we don't mind. You can't touch us. Our protection is our mouth. We will continue to speak. But we've gone back to the days of the culture of silence. They are attacking all the institutions of governance. You've heard what they did to the judiciary recently. That's just the beginning. They haven't stopped. Now they say if you're a Christian, apologies to you, and you speak in tongues, you are mad. Who haven't they attacked? They're attacking NPP people. As for that, they started in 2009 and they're still continuing. But why do you think we're such a target? They see us as such a threat. They are not governing the country. They are attacking the NPP and its record because they don't have anything to contribute. But we have a good story to tell. And our creed is what was stated by J.B. Dankwa during the formation of the UDCC. That those who are in control of the government should be under the control of the governed. The people should control their rulers. That's true democracy. That's what we believe in. And that's what we demonstrated when we expanded the Electoral College to almost 120,000. Now they're struggling desperately to find an antidote to that. Because they can't find an antidote to that, since our elections, and I know you all monitor the radio in Ghana and the media generally, since our elections, they've increased the tempo of personal attacks, insults, and all that. But the good people of Ghana are too discerning and have seen through that and are not faced. But they've done that because their own people are also crying out for true power to be given to them, as we in the NPP have done. They've seen that we have allowed our own people, our grassroots, to choose their leaders. They don't have an answer to that. They don't know what to do. They're scrambling around for ideas. And they must respond. And they must listen to their people. But they don't want to be seen to be copying the NPP. But we are the pace setters. And they will copy us if they want to. But they know if they do, with the vested interest, they would lose. So they resorted to attacks and diversionary tactics. So we're discussing this afternoon that almost every week something outrageous comes out from their camp, so that we all start discussing it again. But it is as if the spirit of confusion has descended into their ranks. As for me, I have renamed the NDC the National Deception. You can choose your choice. Deception, Destructive, or Demonic Congress. You choose which one you want. Nothing positive about that in any way. But, like I said, this is just the beginning. We've done a beautiful thing. We've inaugurated the chapter. We've elected our flag bearer. The hard work now begins. And Mr. Treme also took some of the words out of my mouth when he reminded you of your responsibilities as members of this branch, this chapter. We don't want bench warmers. And I'll come to the women in a bit. And Sister Vero, we don't want bench warmers. We know politics is a game of numbers. But we're in a position we want power. We demand commitment, hard work, dedication, and passion. We must believe in what we're doing. We must understand that we have the answer to Ghana's problems. If we don't, and we think this is just a shortcut to power, I'm sorry, it may not be. So if you're here because of what you can get from NPP Ireland, go back home. We want people who will work and work hard. It's a thankless job. They will insult you. There will be backbiting among around. I'm praying that you don't experience that here. But being a human institution, you probably will. But if you're dedicated and committed and focused, and you're passionate and you really care about what it is you're doing, you can overlook many of those things. And we need teamwork. I hope many of you aren't feeling a little bit overshadowed by the frequent mention of your chairman, Eko. Somebody has to lead the group. Somebody has to spearhead efforts. But it doesn't mean it's a one-man effort. It's teamwork. And everybody's contribution matters. Everybody's contribution is important. So like Vero said, if it is cleaning the cobwebs or sweeping the floor, without that we can't have a decent environment within which to operate. And it is all important. It may not be recognized, but you are not doing it for the recognition. Me, since 2009, when I decided that if the NDC had engineered my dismissal from my workplace, it's the worst mistake they could have done. Before then, I was doing this, but on a low key. Now and again, I pop my head up a little, go and talk small, being mindful of my employer. So I wasn't firing as much on all cylinders as I am now. And when they said I could go home, I should go, I said, thank you. Now I'm free. So, that's what I said in my head. You people are dead. So I shook myself off and I said, every misfortune is an opportunity. Everything that comes your way which you see as a negative, look hard enough, you will find an opportunity in there. Before everybody knew me in Ireland, now people sell them and I get a little slave. Oh, just a little. Yeah. So I decided that, okay, if you didn't like what I was doing before, get your loins. You see even more of that. But I can't do it alone. I need you here to be doing it here. You have stations here that you also speak on. And in London as well. And I know we're doing a very good job because some 80-year-old mother of mine came up to me yesterday and said, oh, Rainbow Radio, Warriors of Power, London Ham, and we were different MPP power, them station. And I know there are others. So well done to those who are fighting our battles for us out here and keeping our name alive. And so they know they can't ignore us. We're a force to reckon with, and rightly so. We governed the country very well for 8 years. So people now see the difference between light and darkness. They say, Yaswans and Yaswansu. We know the difference. So even in our defeat in 2008, I see a blessing there. It was God's way of pulling our ears as ungrateful Ghanaians who complain about everything. And I mean, and I MPP power, Grammy, and they haven't done anything for me since they came to power. Complaining. God said, okay, I will give you NDC. Yes. Now they are crying, MPP come back, oh, MPP come back. And I laugh. I said, you will come. And they'll ask, when are they having the elections? And I said, 3 more years. Oh! We have to live in these conditions for 3 more years. I say, yes. The elections, we don't do it. It's not an annual affair. It's every 4 years. If you thought you were punishing somebody because of something somebody had done or said which you didn't like, you didn't realize that you were hurting yourself. And the power in the thumb is what Ghanaians have realized now. That by voting in a particular way, we can determine our destiny, whether good or bad, for 4 years. And they are regretting the choice they made. But we should not be complacent. That is why I am hammering on hard work, commitment, dedication, and passion. You must believe that the NPP is the answer to Ghana's problems. We are not perfect. We're human beings. But if you compare us to the NDC, by the end of our first year in office, we had given Ghanaians hope for the future. And that is why Nanado chose, or people chose, the slogan that he used for campaigning for flag bearer. Nana Yenida So. And when he was campaigning, he said, Mensuso, Menida Moso. If we don't choose the right flag bearer, if we don't work hard with the power that has been given to us, if we all don't talk to our people back home, like Doc said, if you tell your mother that vote in a particular way, now you can even tell them, someone who said, time and MPP war power, no, Nankasikano, you to me the papa. Now say, Swati, it may not be the fault of Atamils, but me, when it doesn't rain, I say it's Atamils' fault. And drought, Atamils. Credit crunch, I don't understand. Me, I understand the fact that somebody who was sending me money in Ireland now was sending me £10 a month, is now sending me 3. So, what has changed in my life? I went to vote and the new government came into power. Atamil City, the banner was children and so me first come into the fault. You tell him, tell them back home. Everything is your fault. Maybe you would have been able to come home to settle if they hadn't made it impossible to come and kick out your government. Yes, I know a lot of people who were planning to come back. Yeah. I know a lot of people who were, because things went so good here, and things were going on well, they were planning to go back to the session.